Welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara, and thank you for meeting me in my kitchen today. Y'all, today is the day that we make spaghetti sauce, okay? We are overloaded with tomatoes in the freezer from the summer garden, which I am grateful for. But it has taken up a lot of space in my freezer, and it's time for me to do something with them. Now, in the summertime, I don't have the time to deal with the summer harvest, make tomato sauce and get it canned and all that. So I always just freeze my tomatoes, and then in the fall, which is now, or winter, I'll process my tomatoes and make spaghetti sauce. So that's what we're doing today. This is only my second time doing it, so still kind of new with this, but I'm gonna walk you through and show you what I'm doing as an update, because I did a video on it last year, but on this video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different than I did last year. So I can't wait to have you guys come along with me. So what you saw me doing was going to, sorry, making all that noise. Okay, I'm gonna pour some water in here just to help it prevent it from sticking. So I'm going to tear this bag. They are frozen solid. So what you saw me doing is just grabbing some bags of tomatoes from my freezer where we've been storing them. So in the summertime, like I said, I don't process my tomatoes for sauce. So what I do in the summer is that I wash them and I core them. And then I just put them in a plastic gallon bag like this and then just store them until it's time to make sauce. So these are all different kinds of tomatoes. Obviously, the best tomatoes for sauce are paste tomatoes. And if you're new and you're not familiar with the different kinds of tomatoes, a paste tomato is like a Roma. If you think about it, it's has very little juice, versus a slicing tomato like a beefsteak has a lot of juice. So ideally, you wanna use paste tomatoes for sauce, but you can make sauce with any tomato, okay? So trust and believe. So I have this on. I'm trying not to get it, the plastic by the thing, because it's hot. I have it on like 350 right now. This is a Nesco roaster oven. It's an 18 quart. I love, love, love this thing. And I use it, I'm not gonna say especially for this purpose, but it works out really good for this purpose. So like I said, ideally you want paste tomatoes, but this is a mix of paste tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, and paste tomatoes. Because I had a lot of cherry tomatoes, and if I didn't have time to do salsa, or use it for like roasted tomatoes or something like that, then I just put it in the bag and put it in the freezer. Because it's better for me to get something out of it than not use it at all and it go bad. Now, you can take these out like maybe ahead of time and let them thaw out a little so they're not frozen solid, but they're gonna do what they need to do in this roaster. I got one more bag. I got tons more bags in the freezer, but we're gonna start with this. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 bags. We're gonna start with this. And I like this roaster because it holds a lot, and so it's better than me trying to use a pot on the stove for this amount of tomatoes. You can see that that is full. Again, they're frozen solid, so that's why. But once they start to warm and thaw out, obviously it'll kind of decrease in size, and I could even add more tomatoes in it if I wanted to. So I have it on 350 right now. I'm gonna turn it up to 400. I'm gonna add a little bit more water just so that it doesn't stick, and we're just gonna let it do its thing for a few hours and get it to where we need it to be. So I can literally just walk away. That's another reason why I like using a roaster oven, is because I can get this going and get it started and just walk away. And normally I will do this on a day, like in the evening, like I'm doing now, and let it go all night if I want to. And then when I get up in the morning, it's ready and I can just make the sauce and can it the next day. The last time I did not do it all in one day, and I don't think I'm gonna do it all in one day today, just because I got other stuff to be doing, but I wanted to go ahead and get this going on. So I'll keep you posted and I'll keep checking in and let you see the progress. But for now, I'm gonna add a little bit more water to this and let it just start to just defrost and to thaw. Okay, y'all, before I let you go on this round, I found another bag of tomatoes I had brought in. I left it across on the other counter, and I was walking out of the kitchen. I was like, oh, I had brought in another bag. So I went ahead and put that in there. It was a whole bag full of cherry tomatoes, and you can see now we're at the top. So that way we can see how far this goes down and starts to thaw out and all of that. So I'm excited. And then just seeing all these tomatoes makes me even more excited for summer and what we're gonna grow this summer. But I'll check back in the next hour or so and let you see how it's going. Okay, y'all, it's been several hours. At the hour mark, I didn't get a chance to turn the camera on, but it was definitely halfway thawed out, and you could break it up with a spoon and all that, but it was still kind of like frozen in individual pieces, but I was able to break up like the big globs. Now it's been several hours later and it's completely unthawed. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like. See, it's completely unthawed now and all in their liquidy juice or whatever. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain some of the juice off and I'm gonna save that juice because you can use that to kind of like flavor rice, like make Mexican rice, or you can add it to like chili if you wanted to, or just anything that you want to have a tomato flavor. So that juice is good to keep. So I'm gonna grab some jars and drain some of the juice off, and then I'll tell you the next step. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna collect the juice. So I have a glass and a funnel. Couldn't find my stainless steel funnel, but hey, you know that's what happens. So, and get some of the juice off and put it in my jar. And then I'll strain this, obviously, as well. But this is gonna be good liquid that you can use. Like I said, you can use this and cook your rice in it to make Mexican rice, and I already have a tomato flavor. And again, I'm doing this one to get the tomato juice as the product, but just also to just to get some of this liquid off as well. I should probably be able to get at least 3 quarts of this. So I love when you do a project and you get like what I call a 2-for-1. You get more than one thing out of the project, so to speak. Okay, so that's 1 jar already. I'm just gonna keep doing this and we'll see how many jars we get. Okay, so we got 3 quarts. I still have juice in there, but we have 3 full quarts of tomato juice. You can see that there. So now I'm gonna strain it because I'm eventually gonna can this. And so I wanna make sure that I have enough liquid when it's time to can. So when I pressure can this, I need, it's gonna be filled to the 1-inch mark. And so what I don't wanna do is wait, make all my sauce and have it ready to go. And then once I strain it, I have a little bit less than, up to the 1-inch mark. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and strain it now just to make sure that I have enough liquid. Okay, crisis averted. So now let's just pour our straight juice in there. And yep, just like I thought, I don't have enough. So that's why I'm straining it now. So that's just a little pro tip, because look, there's not enough for me to can to the 1-inch mark. So that means I'm gonna need some more juice, but I'm gonna finish straining all the rest of these and get it to pure juice, and then we'll go from there. Okay, y'all, so I got 3 beautiful quarts of tomato juice. Look at that color. Is that not beautiful? Oh my goodness. So excited. So we already have one product from our beautiful tomatoes. Now it's time to show you what's going to be different this time than last time and show you my new toy. Hey guys, I got a new toy. I mean, what else is new? You know I'm into the gadgets. Okay, so one of the things I told you that I'm doing different this time that I did not do last year is I'm actually going to use a food meal at this step for the spaghetti sauce before we make it into spaghetti sauce. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to have a more smooth consistency, get rid of the seeds, the peels, and all that. So last year when I did this, I took some of the peels and dehydrated them and made tomato powder, which is a great use for that. Obviously I didn't get all the peels, and the spaghetti sauce turned out good. It had a great flavor and it tasted good, but the texture I was not a fan of because I could see the seeds and it was more of a visual thing for me. So I want to make sure that I have the highest quality that I can. And so I invested and bought a food meal. This is an electric Weston food meal. So you saw the footage before of my husband kind of going through it and putting it together. So he put it together. I watched, then I took it apart. I washed all the stuff before we put our food in there, and then I'm gonna try and put it back together myself. He's on the other side of the camera, so he's here to bail me out if I don't get it. So, because one of the things is when it comes to gadgets, I like for it to be simple, and I like to be able to do it myself and not have to wait for my husband to come home. That is the #1 goal, okay? I'm independent in a lot of ways. When it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm like, ooh, too many parts. Okay, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna put it together. So, already I'm like, what was the first step? I think this was first. Okay, he's shaking his head. He says yes. Now, my husband and I use any directions. Me, I'm trying to follow 1, 2, 1A, 2, 3. He just came and he was like, do. And I'm like, how did you know that? He's like, well, that's where the grooves are. My brain don't even operate like that. I'm good at a lot of things. This is not one of them. So I don't even know which hole goes where, but I'm gonna assume that this has the grooves and that has the grooves. So he's saying yes. This way?
Yep.
Up.
Yep.
How do I know that?
Go to the other side.
This side?
No, you had it right. Come towards you with it though.
Okay, I have it on there.
No, the other way.
What other way?
And then snap it back.
So this way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that. Could y'all see that? Y'all, I'm gonna give me a professional photographer up in these streets. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Then next I think is this screen thing. He says no.
The blade.
This. Okay, this is the blade. Okay. No. Yeah, it would have to go this way. Okay. Do I just stick it in?
Mm-hmm.
How does...
That's it.
Okay, he said just put... Okay, so then next is the screen. So this came with 3 screens. Now, don't go buy it yet. We're going to see if we like it first. It came with 3 screens. This is the tomato berry screen. It came with a pumpkin screen and a salsa screen. What those mean, I don't know. So, process of elimination, the big ends don't go over the big end. I'm assuming I'm going to turn this... Oh, this goes first?
That goes...
Over it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if y'all can see good. Let's see. Okay. So this goes over it this way. Kind of like a, and then turn to get it.
You got to get it on there straight.
Okay. He says I have to get it on there straight. So hold on. The only reason I'm showing y'all this is so I want y'all to know what really be going on. Oh, it went in there. Because there's somebody out there like me who is good at some stuff, but you ain't good at this. Okay. Tight. Okay, so then the next step is this. This is going to be, I would call this the shoe. This is where the stuff is going to come out. And I remember on the box it was this was facing this way, so that means this has to go. And there were some no.
Right there, right there. The grooves.
So where are the?
That's it.
Okay, we pushed it on up, and that's it. Then it's the hopper. So I do like that this hopper is big. I love that for sure. And I think you just sit this down on there, and we're done. You got a little plunger to plunge. I'm assuming I'll put a bowl here. Now it's gonna have to be a bowl that's, because that ain't, that's kind of low. How's a bowl supposed to fit under there? I'm not sure how that works. I put my hand in a ponytail, moved the food mill over here. So now let's try it out. Let's plug it up. Let's see. Let's just try it, and maybe I should put it in this cup first and then pour the cup in the hopper. Let's just try that. I've never used this before, so this is my first time. So okay, let's just talk about what just happened. Did y'all see it? So I have this whole thing of juice. Now, one thing, and again, remember when you read no directions, but we kind of figured it out intuitively. So one thing is that this chute, it doesn't sit up high. It's almost, if it was possible, that this whole part should be elevated so that you can have your chute up higher so that you can put like a deeper bowl. I would prefer a bowl and not like a dish. So you can kind of see the dish that I have there, right? You can kind of see. I would prefer to use a bowl because to me a bowl is easier to carry, because when I lift this out, I get sloshing around everywhere. But if I had a bowl that also had a lid, then I could put the lid on it and then transfer it to my pot more easily. This to me is going to be a bit of a mess. So that's my first observation. What I did like, let's look at this pulp. This pulp is dry. There's no liquid in that. I like that because I can take this straight to my dehydrator. So these are like the skins. So it's doing a good job of the skins. And like I said, I could take this straight to my dehydrator and then dehydrate it more, grind it up, and then I still have tomato powder. So that would be product number 2. So I like that. It's relatively, I mean, it has some noise to it, but I wouldn't imagine for it to be really, really quiet, but it wasn't overbearing. Also, I love the fact that the hopper is so big and it went by really, really fast. I mean, I think I only had that on for a minute and I got this much sauce, and I still have half a pot to go. So that's good. Now, I still see seeds, and again, maybe I'm supposed to, but I wonder if I run it through again, like put the liquid in here, I wonder will it come out smoother without seeds, right? Or, and you tell me, if you've made spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, whatever sauce, did you de-seed your tomatoes before you put them in the freezer? Or is the meal supposed to do it? Like, I see seeds and stuff coming out and all of that, but there's still some seeds in my sauce. So let's try this. Let's put a little of the juice, and maybe a strainer would work, right? So maybe if I used a fine mesh sieve or strainer, maybe the seeds would stay and I would just have pure sauce, so to speak. Now, I am assuming that once I cook this and add the stuff to it, it's going to thicken up. That's what I'm assuming, because of course we don't want sauce that's like runny like that. So let's try this and let's see what happens. Now the part that I was seeing coming out as far as liquid did seem to have less seeds. So I wonder if that's the way you're supposed to do it, or should I just strain this? That's the part I don't know. I wish this was like live real time so you guys could just be typing in some comments and I can adjust on the fly. But since we're not like real, you know, live streaming like that, let me go look up a couple of things and let's see what I'm gonna do from here. Okay, so what I did, again, I'm just using intuition again. And here's one of the things is that when I first did this last year, I was so intimidated. This is only my second time doing it. I'm still a little intimidated, but this is how you learn, right? And sometimes you just gotta jump into the deep end and figure it out. What's the worst that's gonna happen is that I'm gonna have spaghetti sauce that had seeds in it that tastes good. I had that last year, right? That's the worst case scenario. Is that what I want? No. Can I live with it? Yes. Will we eat it? Absolutely. So that's how I have to talk to myself as I'm going through it. So what I've done is I put it through my fine mesh strainer and it's working. You can see the seeds are staying in there. So that part is working. I'm just wondering, do I have to do that step or did I miss something to begin with? So I'm gonna pour this into a bowl. So I'm just gonna keep doing that and get all the rest of this done and see what I have in terms of liquid. So this is like just pure tomato liquid type sauce, so to speak, if that makes sense. Again, it's real liquid because remember we added water and then we have a lot of cherry tomatoes in here. It would be already a little bit thicker if it was already paste tomatoes, but it's going to thicken up. And I'm trying to remember from last year if it was this watery. I would have to go back and look at my video. I don't know. I'm gonna keep getting it strained without the seeds and see what we end up with. Okay, y'all, this is a labor of love. I've gotten all the tomatoes out of the roaster. So what I've been doing is I've been straining it through the strainer once it comes out of the chute to get more of the seeds out. And I also, the pulp that came out of here, I re-ran it through and it made for a thicker sauce. So again, I feel like that's good because then nothing is wasted. So this is the last iteration of what's in the hopper now and the last bit of juice. And then we're gonna be done with this step. Okay, y'all. So all the sauce is made. Here is my question for those of you who have a food meal, if you have this one or another kind. I want to know if this is normal. I like the electric thing and I like the way it's coming out, but like, look here. Is it supposed to come out that part like that? To me, this is more of the peel that should be coming out this side. Is that normal? I am collecting some on the side, but it's also coming through here. If you can see, like I have juice here, but then I also have this here. Is that normal? Or is this a bad meal? Is this connected the wrong way? Like, it just seems like out of here should be nothing but juice or sauce versus this part like that shouldn't come out of here. Y'all put some comments down there and let me know. Because I've never had one, I don't have anything to compare it to. Now, it's much better than using your hands and peeling tomatoes, for sure. It's doing a good job with the skins and stuff, but I feel like that this up in here, like, and it's not on, y'all, so that's why I'm using my hands. And this sauce is not going to anybody. So like that part there, you see that? It's coming out that part. Let me know if that's supposed to be. I've rerun this through like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. I'm not gonna rerun it through again because I'm tired. So this is the sauce that's without seeds. And this is my second bowl. I have a whole nother full bowl of this. So I'm gonna run this through the strainer. And I think what I'm gonna do is call it a night because it's late. And I'm gonna do the spaghetti sauce part tomorrow in terms of adding like the seasonings and canning it. So I'm going to run this through again, clean up my mess, and then we're gonna regroup tomorrow and finish this project. Okay guys, as I got ready to wrap up this project, I thought to myself, I'm gonna have to do this again when I do the rest of the tomatoes. And the thought of me going through this all over again this winter was a no. So I went to my freezer and I pulled all the tomatoes out of my freezer. You see that I have stacked them in the sink. I'm gonna let them defrost while I go to bed. And so tomorrow, not only are we gonna finish what we've already started, we are going to tackle and get all the tomatoes done in the entire house. Let's see what happens. Good morning. It's the next day, and y'all, I decided last night that I was just gonna do all my tomatoes. So that's what you saw footage of. My sink was covered with tomatoes. I went to bed. I was kind of trying to let them defrost some, and some of it worked. A lot of them still didn't defrost just because they were probably so packed into the sink. But after what happened yesterday, and just the time it was taking, and you know, and the machine trying to figure it out, I decided I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do all the tomatoes in my freezer. So I went back out to my freezer last night, got all the tomatoes. You can see we had a blessed and bountiful tomato harvest. I had 20 gallon size bags in total. I still have these left that don't have a place to go. There's three of these still left because I'm out of space. This is when I need a second roaster, but I have this roaster filled. You saw me fill the big pot on the stove. So I gotta actually run to a couple of meetings this morning. So I'm gonna let it break down and do its thing, and then we'll come back later today and try to wrap this up. I hope. This turned out to be bigger than I planned, because I probably didn't plan very, very well, but that's neither here nor there. I'll check back in with you later today. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I had meetings this morning, had to do some work, so I have about an hour and a half before I have to go do something else. So I'm gonna see how much I can get done in an hour and a half. At least maybe I can get all the sauce made. So let's see if we can get it done. So I have my station set up now on this side of the kitchen to deal with the tomatoes that were on the stove. So we got this big old thing of tomatoes. I got all the tomatoes in, and then we have a roaster pot full, 18 quarts of tomatoes over there. So we're gonna start with this. Yeah. Last night was a little messy, so I got a little towel here that I don't mind getting messed up, apron on. Let's see what we can get done. Got my machine set up, did it all by myself. So let's just start putting this in here. And I do have a slotted spoon. Okay, so you can see my bowl is already full of sauce. So it is thicker than the other one was. So definitely, if you have used less of the juice, it's gonna make it automatically already thicker. I'm gonna take this part back through one more time and try to get rid of some of these seeds. I'm just gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna be here for a minute. So I'll let you guys know what happens in the next hour and a half. Okay, y'all, I finally got all the tomatoes done. And now we have a big old batch of spaghetti sauce brewing. So you can probably see that here. It's probably, this is a 22 quart pot, and it's probably right here. I am letting it simmer and cook down and thicken up so that it could be sauce for the jar. So it's probably been going now for about 30 minutes. It'll probably take, I would think, maybe an hour or so. So I'll definitely bring you back when it's time to jar it up and let you see the final product. But to make the spaghetti sauce, what I added was onions, garlic, Italian seasoning, sugar, salt, and bay leaves. I'm using the recipe in the Ball canning book for seasoned tomato sauce. It's not called spaghetti sauce in the book, it's called seasoned tomato sauce. And I'm gonna pressure can it. You can water bath or pressure can this, but because I'm actually using my water bath canner to do this mixture, then I got my pressure canner already going, got jars ready to go. So now we just need it to be thick sauce, and then we're going to can it up. Y'all, this has been a labor of love. The next time I do this, I just gotta start early in the morning and devote a whole day and be a little bit more planful. I thought I was planned, but yeah, just having all your stuff in a row, because when you're doing this many tomatoes, and I didn't have near this many last year. I think right now, what I've calculated is about 100 pounds of tomatoes. I had 21 gallon bags full of tomatoes. Each bag was about 5 pounds of tomatoes. So we're dealing with 100 pounds of tomatoes, which is a lot. I got 6 quarts of tomato juice. I could have had more, but I just stopped because I'm not going to use that much tomato juice. So anyway, it's finally, we're almost there. We're 75% of the way done. We just need this to thicken up and become sauce, and then we're gonna can it, and then we can say done. So I'll bring you back and let you see the final product. Okay, y'all, it's time to can the sauce. I've already did the first one. Let me show you. Look at that. Beautiful. It's going in the canner. I'm gonna keep filling jars, and we're gonna process these for 25 minutes. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to the jar. You still have to add that if you're pressure canning. So I'm gonna get this all ready to go. I'll probably have to end up doing 2 batches. We'll see how many we get in the end, but we're at the finish line. Okay guys, it's been a long day. It's been a long 2 days, but I'm finally done. So let me tell you what happened when the camera was off. So all in all, here's the final deal. I ended up getting 11 jars of spaghetti sauce, 11 quarts, and then 6 quarts of tomato juice. I could have had way more tomato juice. I just did not save it. Just because I'm not going to use that much tomato juice, and I was done. I was tired. I got all of the spaghetti sauce canned. I used my pressure canner and had 7 in there because they were quart size wide mouth. In the canner that I was using, you can't double stack the quarts. I do have one where you can double stack the quarts, but it's like a beast, and I didn't feel like pulling that out. And then I had 4 quarts going in my Presto digital canner. So I had both going on at the same time. You can only fit 4 quart size that are wide mouth in the digital, so that worked out perfectly. So the 7 got done, and as I was transferring one from the pressure canner to my counter, I don't know what happened except the jar broke. It slipped. I had it by the tongs. It slipped. It splattered everywhere, including on me, all over my kitchen floor, all over my kitchen counter. It was a hot mess, literally hot. I feel like it burned the skin on my toes. I could have just, I'm telling you, there were so many things that happened during this project. I kept dropping stuff. I kept spilling stuff. Like it was not the best of the best of the canning project days, but that's what happens sometimes. It's not always perfect. Right? I'm glad to be done, and I'm not really 100% done because I did not can the tomato juice. I had both canners going, and because the tomato juice, was not hot, I would have had to do like a raw pack or a cold pack, or somehow get it up to temperature, because you can't put a cold jar in hot water, and all of that. So my prayer is to can that tomorrow and just do a cold raw pack method where they'll just both come into temperature at the same time. That is my plan for that. But the spaghetti sauce is done. The digital canner is still cooling down. It takes like an hour and a half to cool down. So that's the disadvantage of kind of using one of those, if you want to call it a disadvantage. It's hands off, so I'm not complaining. So what am I saying? I don't have the perfect after shot. I will take a picture and it'll be back. You'll see the picture, basically, of all the canning jars. But for me to wait until that's done, try to stay up, get a good shot, then end the video, not in the cars tonight. So I'm gonna end this video. Here's what I will say. I wanna give you a quick review of the machine that I use, the Weston Tomato Electric Strainer. I'm not in love with it, right? I'm not in love, I'm in like. And the reason why I'm not completely bashing or just going off about it is because I don't know if that's what they do, because I don't have anything to compare it to. So I cannot wait to see you guys' comments to see if the machine, if that's what Food Mills do, or if there's another better one. There's another one that I really wanted to get, but when I went to go get it, it was already sold out. And it was way more price. It was probably twice the price. This one was like, I think $150. The one that I really wanted was like, I don't know, $450. It was high, but it was beautiful, all stainless steel, but it keeps being out of stock. I ordered that one months ago. And now I'm past the point I can't get a refund because I'm just now using it, and I've had it for, I don't know, probably 4 months. Anywho, so let me know what you guys think about the strainer. I mean, it definitely saves time. So I like the idea of using a food meal. I just don't know if I love this one. And it was hard to clean at the end, just that one. All the parts were easy except the stainless steel chute. Stuff was just stuck in it. It took some time digging through it. So I didn't love that, but okay. You guys let me know in the comments and we'll go from there. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna see if I can sell it on Facebook Marketplace. If you guys tell me I probably shouldn't keep it, see if I can recoup my money and then just get the one that I really, really want. But I don't want to get that one and spend 3 times as much if that's what they do. Anyway, let me know in the comments. But at the end of the day, after 2 days, I do have yummy spaghetti sauce to put up on the pantry shelves, and we got it done. And I now have way more space in my freezer. So even though there were some challenges along the way, I'm going to consider it a win. And I hope that this encourages you, inspires you, and motivate you to do something that you've been putting off, to do something that you're intimidated by, and to still celebrate the win when it doesn't go as planned. Because at the end of the day, I do have spaghetti sauce. So we did hit the goal. There were just some bumps and challenges along the way. But thank you guys so much for joining me today and yesterday and all the days, and I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. Remember, gardening is a journey. This is part of it. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.